Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS DACH Pro Final 2025 from beautiful Wildhaus in Switzerland. There we're seeing our two hosts for the German stream, Sean Oesch and Guido Hüsken. They will be taking care of our live stream for our German fans. My name is Troy Mannering. I'll be with you all day long here today for our English live stream as the voice of God, as they say, as we get ready to go on to our main stage here and welcome some specific and important individuals. But in the meantime, we warmly welcome you to our STIHL TIMBERSPORTS DACH Pro Final 2025. It's the first time that we're doing a DACH Pro Final, mixing three nations into one here. Some important points up for grabs as these athletes vie for getting themselves the points they need to become invited to the World Championships later in October this year. There we see Julian Torner, our on-site host and sideline reporter. He'll be guiding our audience through the festivities today, along with David Bira, who will be helping him out on stage duties occasionally. And we are going to now bring out some individuals that are important for this event here today, including our global sports director, Spike Milton here. And as Julian is currently giving us the update there, we're above 1,000 meters here, so that plays a role in how well these athletes will be able to perform under these thinner air-conditioned situations here, and how well they can manage that as we get going into the action of today. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to bring out our global sports director, Spike Milton. He has to be present at all of these events when we are talking about points being distributed for our European standings as well as international events here. And now he's being introduced by Julian on stage. Spike Milton, there is, from Great Britain. Former competitor himself, and he's kind of been all around this sport for a long, long time. So a couple of individuals that are also very important to our action here today on stage are our two judges who will be taking care of the festivities on stage. Our first one coming up is Bart Janssen. These gentlemen are responsible for making sure that everything is fair and consequent on stage, let's say. Also joining him on stage will be Great Britain's Andy Hall. You'll see Andy most times at the front of the stage in our decision zone, letting us know if the cuts are fair or if there are disqualifications. And of course, we have a very, very important aspect of the judging crew, and that is the gentleman is in our competition control center, Jules Janssen. He keeps a close eye on all the high-speed cameras and timing equipment to make sure that the final decisions made on stage are indeed as fair as they possibly can be. All right, let's take a look at the explanation for our pros here. Three nations, one title. The best sports lumberjacks from the DACH region, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland compete against each other to determine their champion. In a preliminary qualification round, the pro athletes collect points in all disciplines to qualify for the competitions in front of an international audience. The 12 athletes with the most points advance to the semifinals. The 4 most successful athletes per country from the previous season, including the 3 national champions, are automatically seeded for this round. They do not have to compete in the qualifying round. 3 semifinals will be held. The 24 pros will have the opportunity to participate in 2 competitions each and show their skills in all 6 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS disciplines. After the semifinals, the top 4 per country and the next 4 from the semifinal ranking will determine their DACH Champion. In the final, the athletes will compete in a round format. The athletes with the fewest points are eliminated after the first 3 disciplines. After the Springboard and single buck, the field of participants is reduced down to 6 starters, and the hot saw will decide who is the best STIHL Timbersports athlete from the 3 countries, and thus who will be crowned DACH Champion. The best placed athletes from each nation will enter the European ranking as national champions and thus have a chance to qualify for the World Championship as an individual starter. So that's very important today, that these guys do as best they can for each of their individual nations to make sure they get the points that they need in order to participate in the World Championships coming up on the 24th and 25th of October this year. So without further ado, let's bring out the athletes onto the stage here, and we are going to bring up our Austrian delegation, Josef Laya. Joining him on stage, also from Austria, Lukas Wagesreiter. Recently, or we can say a couple of years ago, came out of the rookies as one of the top-rated rookies in Europe, and now competes regularly with the pros, and we see him on an upward swing for sure. He's had 1 national championship appearance, so he is ready to step it up a notch. Also joining them, Gunther Dallinger. And of course, the Austrians would not be complete without the perennial champion who seems to always be atop the podium in the Austrian competitions, Armin Kugler. All right, moving on now to the German contingent here, and bringing up our first competitor from Germany, Denny Vielwert. Denny clearly has a fan club in the house here today, as we can hear the people screaming for him as he comes up on stage. Family and friends. All right, now coming up on stage for Germany, Christoph Lang. Many of these gentlemen that you see here coming up on stage for each of the nations also participate for their respective nations in the team competitions. We see Denny and Christoph also doing the same for Germany. Next, coming up for Germany, Stefan Odwarka. The list continues on here for Germany with Florian Hegele.
Florian Hegele.
This is his first appearance at a national pro championship, so looking forward to seeing him do well here today. And of course, we can't forget Marcel Steinkemper. Marcel continues to improve and become better and better as a timber sports athlete. And of course, one of the best in Germany, an all-time, Danny Martin. With a motor saw in hand, he is very, very solid, but we have seen major, major improvements by him in the springboard as well as with his chopping discipline. So a very well-rounded athlete for Germany. Okay, moving on to the Swiss contingent here, and we have 6 Swiss athletes listed here. Rolf Hasler is our first coming up on stage. The walk is getting longer and longer for these guys in the handshake line. Next coming up for Switzerland, Marcel Amann.
Marcel Amann. Nächster Schweizer in den Startlöchern.
And one of the favorites for today is Oliver Reinhardt. Almost called him Olivier. Would have been kind of fun. Oliver Reinhardt, super strong. We've seen 2 national appearances for him, and also a couple of trophy appearances for him as well. He's struggled a little bit with some injuries in the last little while, but he seems fit and ready to go. And coming up now, Cyril Paps. And we are down to our last 2 athletes to join us up on stage. Final 2 Swiss athletes, and we have Stefan Hübscher.
Stefan Hübscher!
He has pedigree, 19 national championship appearances, 3 silver medals at the national championship. So we know he has the skills to pay the bills, as they say. Let's see if he can do some damage today. And of course, the man himself, the granddaddy caddy for Switzerland, it is none other than Christoph Geissler.
Christoph Geissler! Die Teams aus Österreich, Deutschland und der Schweiz, hier alle noch gemeinsam auf der Bühne. Im Anschluss geht's gleich los mit der ersten Disziplin, derer 6 hier am DACH Pro-Finale 2025 anstehen. Alles ist angerichtet, das Material ist bereit, die Athleten sind es auch.
So there we have all of the players today in our competition, including our judges and our sports director, Spike Milton. And of course, back in studio, we go with Guido Hüsken and Sean Usch. And before further ado, or without further ado, we're going to get started with the first discipline and the tool, or excuse me, rather, we'll do the competition format clip so you can see how the competition is going to run today, and then we'll jump to the tool and discipline.
The STIHL Timbersports individual competition. In the first round, all athletes compete in 3 disciplines: the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a difference of 1 point applies in each discipline. Thus, the fastest athlete received 12 points and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification, and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In this second round, the remaining athletes compete in the single buck and the springboard for increased scores. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible in the hot saw, as an increased score interval of 3 points applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score up to 18 points at the hot saw, the slowest only 3 points. The athlete who manages to achieve the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion.
All right, so through each round, the points do increase, so giving the athletes an opportunity to pad their scores a little bit if they have good fast rounds. We are not doing elimination in each of these rounds. It's about gaining as many points as possible, although you will see the athletes on stage against each other when they are battling through these different disciplines. Our first discipline today is the underhand chop. And to find out a little bit more about the tool and discipline, check out this short video clip.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
All right, so there you go. 8 heats, 16 athletes, as opposed to the normal list of 12 will be competing here today. It will still narrow that group down to 8 after the first round, so we're going to lose a few more athletes than usual here. And this first round consists of the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. And we'll start things off with Josef Laya and Lukas Wagesreiter on stage for heat number 1 in the underhand chop. And there you see at the bottom of the screen the world record and season's best. World record 11.81, season's best 17.37. So gentlemen coming out on stage to get ready for the underhand chop. That world record, by the way, held by Braden Meyer, and it stood for quite a bit of time now. We'll see how and if that gets broken anytime soon. It's a lot of good records this year, so let's see how it goes with these two gentlemen on stage now. Josef Laya, Lukas Wagesreiter, first heat of the men's pro. Here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Josef Laya on the left-hand side of your screen, Lukas Wagesreiter on the right-hand side of your screen. Both of these guys pacing nicely into that block. Some nice big chips coming out for both of them. Who's going to be the first over to the other side? It's could be either one of them at this point. Pretty evenly matched up as both of these guys getting deep on that first side. It looks like they both move over roughly at the same time. I think Wagesreiter was a slightly faster over to that second side of the block as both of them get through. Oh, and a personal best for Lukas Wagesreiter, 39.6. And Josef Laya coming close to it. He might have left a little bit too much material on his angles there on the front side. Let's see. He's got there pretty soon now, I hope. Lots of support from the audience there. One more driver should do it to get him through, and he's got a 54.07. Not what he would like to have had, but he is through. Looks like he's got good clean cuts, and Lukas Wagesreiter with a personal best, and he sets the pace for today with the time to beat.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so really nice run to start off with for Lukas Wagesreiter with a personal best 30.53. So we take a look back at the slow-mos, and you can see these guys getting right into it. Really, really nice chips coming out for both of them. A little bit of a problem for Josef Laya on his second side. We could see here on his second side, left a little bit too much material at the bottom there, and yeah, maybe he was just trying to get through it a little bit earlier with a power driver and might have thought about that too soon. Okay, next blocks are prepared for our next heat, heat number 2. Stefan Hübscher going up against Denny Vielwert. Denny, personal best for the underhand chop, 26.48.
Okay, gentlemen.
He is a powerful hitter.
Athletes, ready.
Let's see how his accuracy and his speed is today.
3, 2, 1, go!
Stefan Hübscher, as mentioned in the introductions, has quite the pedigree, and you can see Stefan Hübscher going for pace on his block, not worrying about the accuracy too much. Denny Fjellvedt, very much the same on his side, but he moves over to the second side of his block ahead of Stefan Hübscher, and he's going for those power drivers, gets a couple of sticky axes in there. You don't want to have that, and Denny Fjellvedt looks like he's through. Oh my goodness, what a time for Denny Fjellvedt, a personal best of 21.86. Blasting the previous time out of the water. Absolutely fantastic. Stefan Hübscher now nearing the 40-second mark, and he's got a bit of a sticky wicket that he's got to get through here as he's chipping out the bottom of that block. A little bit of a skip as now he reaches the bottom of that block and almost is through. One more should do it. There he goes in 48.24. Yeah, and you can see that was not his day for cutting. His previous best time, 23.54, but what a time from Denny Fjellvedt, a 21.86 personal best, a fantastic cut from the German.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So as our crew comes in and prepares the stage for the next set of heats, we'll take a look back and the slow-mos here. Now, both of these guys got into these blocks real quick. Stefan Hübscher looked very good as he was pacing in very nicely. Denny Fjellvedt there had some really big, heavy drivers. His accuracy, yeah, leaves a little bit to be desired, but you know what? When he's going with speed and power, didn't seem to bother him all that much. That first side looked actually pretty nice, and the second side he got through real quick. That was a great run from Denny Fjellvedt and a nice time of 21.55 official. And here on the second side, Stefan Hübscher really struggled on getting through that block. So let's hear from Denny.
Ansage auf der Bühne bei mir jetzt im Interview. Denny, neue persönliche Bestzeit. Man merkt schon, du wirst hier von deinen Fans getragen. Hat's das ausgemacht? Was war dein Geheimnis heute?
Ja, ich muss selber erst mal sehen, wie mein Körper drauf reagiert. Ich habe mich am 9. August ziemlich stark verletzt an der Bauchmuskulatur. Ich habe jetzt einfach gedacht oder gehofft, es hält alles. Ich habe keine Schmerzen und
So the question was, what was the secret here today? And he said just to see how his body reacted. You know, he was injured pretty badly in his core in August, and so he just needed to see how it was.
Wusste ich, das könnte funktionieren. Hat auch funktioniert. Ich bin zufrieden erstmal.
So he thought that underhand could work, but now he's super satisfied with how it went.
Wieso konntest du das heute gerade so gut abrufen, eben doch trotzdem vor diesem Hintergrund der Verletzung?
Ja, das Holz hat natürlich dazu gepasst, die Achse hat gut gepasst zum Holz. Das war jetzt das Endergebnis an 21 Sekunden, Personal Best. Bin sehr zufrieden.
So he said the wood was good, the axe worked well into the wood, and with the time he got, he's super satisfied. So great job by Denny Fjellvedt there, and a nice interview from Julian Torna. Okay, so the stage is pretty much ready for our next set of heats. Heat number 3 coming up with Stefan Odwaka going up against Marcel Ammann. Last bit of prep. All right, Stefan Odwaka, personal best of 31.15. Marcel Ammann, 32.82. Couple of guys that you could say are pretty evenly matched up here as they get ready to go for their underhand chop. And if Denny Fjellvedt's claim that the wood is running clean and the axe choice was right for him, if these guys have something similar, we may see some good times and maybe even some personal best go by the wayside here. That is the hope, at least.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, both guys getting into those blocks quickly. Marcel Amann and Stefano Dwarka. Big chips out for Stefano Dwarka. Stefan Amann looking very nice, clean sides for him. A bit sticky on a few of those drivers, and each time that axe gets stuck, it takes a while to get it out. Odvarka onto the second side of his block, about 2 drivers ahead of Amann as they get working on that second side. Odvarka looking very good here. We might see a good time for Stefan Odvarka as he is through in a really nice time here. Our clocks are not showing on screen, but it should be a personal best 27.83 and a 35.41 for Marcel Amann. So our graphics disappeared completely from screen there, but we do have a personal best for Stefan Odvarka, I believe. Let's see if I can refresh my screen here.
Both cuts are good.
So it seems like our graphics and timing are not functioning at the moment, but we'll try and get that back here. Yes, excuse me, now I've got it back. There we go. 28.47 for Stefan. So that is indeed a personal best. And Marcel Amann with a 35.11. So Stefan Odvarka slips into 3rd place, and it is a 3-way run, 1, 2, and 3 for the Germans at the moment in the top 3 positions of the underhand chop, with Denny Vierwert, Florian Hegele, and Stefan Odvarka 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And we do have 4 personal bests already flooded out here. So that was a nice run from Stefan. And Marcel Amann would have liked to have had a little bit faster. He's about 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds slower than his fastest time, but that has him in a solid 4th position for the moment. All right, Heat 4 coming up.
Florian Hegele noch nicht so lange im Business im Teamsports, der Christoph Lang schon ein bisschen erfahrener. Ich bin gespannt, wie das Duell wird ausgehen.
Okay, so Florian Hegele, Christoph Lang, the German duel here.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by Florian Hegele there. He got right into it, and he's got pace as well. Christoph Lang trying to match pace with Florian Hegele here. Both of them really strong. Christoph Lang's got power for days. Florian Hegele looking at that pace, but it's Christoph Lang, a half driver ahead of Hegele over to the other side of his block. Both of them chipping out nicely on that second side. Got to be aware with the accuracy not to cut into that foothold, though, because that could mean a disqualification. Florian Hegele looking really good here on that second side. It's a narrower cut, and he went wide on the first side, narrow on the second side. Now he's looking for that line through, and he might have chosen a little bit too early to start trying to find that line. Christoph Lang is through in 37.31, and Hegele is struggling to find it, and now he's got it finally at 44.73. So that puts them in 5 and 6 right now for the moment. Christoph Lang in position 5, Florian Hegele in position 6 in our underhand chop results. Okay, Florian Hegele is under review there, and I have a feeling it's because he might have cut the foothold. So just hold tight for a second.
Stand 2 for a potential rule infraction. We're just checking with the Competition Control Center for a video check.
So there is a video check for a rule infraction potentially happening for Florian Hegele, and I believe that they're looking for perhaps a cut foothold, and this is something I mentioned during the heat there. So we'll see what comes back.
So, After the video check, I can confirm both cuts are good.
All right, so everything is all good. We're moving on, and nobody's DQ'd so far. I was just looking at a potential cut foothold there, which would entail a disqualification, but it is all okay, and I'm not sure if that's in fact what they were looking for in the video review. Could be any number of things. It could be a false start, it could be a cut foothold, it could be a couple of different things, putting a foot down and swinging the axe while the foot is on the ground. But we do have two fair cuts here, so looks like we are all good. All right, so last little checks on the stage to get the blocks ready for our next set of heats. We've gone through 4 sets of heats so far. 3 personal best by the wayside with Denny Fielwert and Stefano Dwarka in those top 2 positions. Lukas Wagesreiter sitting in 3rd place there. Looks like they've been doing some adjustments. I did see that we had 3 Germans in the top 3 positions, but that has since been changed. And so it is now Denny Fielwert and Stefano Dwarka, followed by Lukas Wagesreiter in those top 3 positions. All 3 of them with personal bests for the moment. So this year we are indeed celebrating 40 years of STIHL Timbersports, and they've put together a nice little video, and it looks like we are going to get a chance to take a look at that and find out what it's like to be doing timber sports for 40 years.
STIHL Timbersports is gearing up for the 2025 season, celebrating 40 years of adrenaline-fueled logger sports history. Since 1985, the original extreme sport has grown from a U.S.-based event to the pinnacle series of global competitive woodchopping, with athletes and competitions in over 20 countries worldwide. Get ready for an axe-exhilarating season filled with passion, precision, and pure power.
Okay, heat number 5 coming up in the underhand chop, and we have Cyril Papst against Armin Kugler. Armin Kugler, under 20 seconds, holding the national record. And this is a man that has been dominant in Austria for STIHL Timbersports for the last, I don't know, million years it seems like. He's always on top of the podium. He is a consistent performer, and it is incredible how this guy performs every single time. His personal best of 18.75 seconds on the underhand chop definitely has him in the advantage position against Cyril Papst.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
There you see Armin Kugler quick with the axe. Cyril Papst also very fast with the axe and cleat, and it seems like he's increasing his pace, but it's Armin Kugler moving over to the other side, losing his balance a little bit, stepping down, but had the wherewithal to make sure he did not swing the axe well if it was on the floor. Cyril Papst about 5 drivers behind him, moving to that second side. We're not going to see a personal best for Armin Kugler, but we will see a very fast time of 25.12 seconds. So that puts him in 2nd position, just behind Denny Fielwert. So the positions are starting to shift a little bit. Cyril Papst in 4th place with a 30.34. Those times are, of course, unofficial until the Competition Control Center gives us the thumbs up, and we have the green from our judge, Andy Hall. So there we go. Official times now 30.10 and 24.86. this was an interesting situation because you could see the power from Armin Kugler, but for me what was quite impressive was Cyril Pabst picked up the pace. Actually, he started more frequent hits into the block on that first side, then switch over to the second side. He was a good 5 drivers behind Armin as he switched to that second side, but it was quite cool to see how fast he was swinging that axe. And as always, Armin Kugler, a cool cucumber on that block. Okay, Rolf Hasler up against Gunther Dahlinger in this next heat, and we could see these two guys 28.33 and 26.49. So as I always say, tail of the tape has the advantage to Gunther Dahlinger, but also, as we have seen today, the tail of the tape does not mean much when the guys have been training competition here today.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wow, really quick start by Rolf Hasler. I hope that wasn't too early. Gunther Dahlinger right into it as well. Nice big chips flying. Both of them switching to the other side exactly at the same time. And now they are in sync with each other. Oh, a bit of a sticky one for Dahlinger though. And that caused problems for him, giving Rolf Hasler the advantage into the block there. And Rolf Hasler with a 23.17 personal best. Fantastic run for him. Love to see those personal bests go. Gunther Dahlinger's time stopped for whatever reason, but it looks like we are actually at 32.15 when the official clock stopped. Of course, completely unofficial until our competition control center gets in there. And you can see that dark spot right there, a little knot that sometimes can be a little bit harder to cut through as our judges are checking to make sure Dahlinger's is in fact cut through. Oh, we may have a problem there. Gunther Dahlinger's is under review, and it is not cut through. There is still a piece of wood, so that means it is going to be a disqualification for a very fast run from Gunther Dahlinger. There's the yellow flag. Oh, and that's going to be a disappointing situation for him because he was so quick.
So we have a disqualification on stand 4 because the block was not severed. However, this cut is good.
Oh man, that is heartbreak for Gunther Dahlinger. So that is going to be a DQ for him, and that means that personal best is not going to be happening. And it was just a little bit left at the bottom of his cut that wasn't cut through properly, and the block does need to in fact be cut through completely. What I loved about this heat though is both of these guys switched over to the second side at the same time, and then they were in sync with each other until Gunther Dahlinger got his axe caught in the block. And right there is where that synchronization separated, and you can see there's the split, but it wasn't split completely.
Wie mir jetzt im Interview Rolf Hasler hauchdünn noch als Ungesetzter den Sprung ins Dachfinale geschafft und jetzt hier mit einer Duftmarke in der ersten Disziplin. Rolf, an was lag's? Wieso konntest du so gut deine Leistung abrufen?
Ja, das Holz war natürlich super und die Axt hat gepasst und präzise Schläge und dann stimmt es.
So wood was great, the axe was perfect, and it worked in the end. To the question, what was a paper-thin heat there?
In Österreich hatten wir Schweizer nicht so viele Fans, darum ist es umso schöner, dass so viele Schweizer hier sind und uns anfeuern. Ihr seid super!
And he's super happy to see the fans here, and he just gives them a little bit of thanks.
Eine persönliche Bestzeit, was macht das mit einem?
Ja, ich hoffe, es gibt ein bisschen Aufschwung für die anderen Disziplinen und man kommt in ein Hoch und kann es durchziehen.
So the question is, what does a personal best do to the rest of the competition here? He says, yeah, hopefully a little bit of, we say, confidence and and momentum into the next disciplines, and we'll see if that in fact is the case for Rolf Hasler, who had a real nice run there in heat number 6 with a personal best 22.89, and that in fact puts him in the second best position in the underhand chop as we move on to heat number 7 with Christoph Geisler, one of the oldest competitors in this competition, going up against Denny Martin, who is an incredibly strong competitor. And you can see these two very evenly matched up as far as their times, both of them holding national records for their respective nations at 19.94 for Geisler and 19.25 for Denny Martin. Look at that, 12-time national pro champion. Geisler has been around the sport forever and still absolutely relevant and kicking it.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Keep a close eye on Denny Martin as he's going to try and get in there real quick, maybe with 6 or 7 hits on that first side. Christoph Geisler, quite the same. Geisler over to the second side. Denny Martin taking a couple of extra drivers on that first side, surprisingly. And Christoph Geisler moving to the second side of his block quite quickly. He was over about 2 drivers ahead of Denny Martin, and he's got a 22.25. That puts him in second place right now in the standings in the underhand chop. And Denny Martin trying to find his way through there. He does it in 31.78. He is not going to be satisfied with that. Denny Martin is absolutely a competitor, and he knows he can cut better than that. And he's going to be shaking his head, and he'll definitely look back at the video footage and inspect that log closely, as well as he tends to do. Christoph Geisler, however, in second position in the underhand chop.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, we'll take a look back at the slow-mos here in that heat between Christoph Geisler and Denny Martin. And you can see even in slow-mo, the speed that they're cutting at, the number of drivers they're getting into, it looks quick. And you can see there Denny Martin with really nice accuracy on his drivers. And the second side of the block for Christoph Geisler, chipping out, very, very nicely. Yeah, and Denny Martin just on that second side, struggling to go through. He took a couple of extra hits on the first side, which had him going over to that second side a little bit behind Christoph Geisler. Maybe his thought process was to take away a bit more material on that first side and then make sure that he could get through that second side quicker, but you could see a little shake of his head there, not satisfied with that run at all. So Danny at the moment in 8th place. He's got his work cut out for him now in the next disciplines to be able to pick up the pace. Now, here's a heat that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I know both of these guys are excellent competitors. Olli Reinhardt, more or less back to being healthy and ready to go, and he is a scary, scary prospect when we look at him in good health and in fighting and fit form. And of course, Marcel Steinkemper, he is a strong boy. And I imagine that we may see personal best times from both of these guys here today.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
So you could see Olli Reinhardt and the effect of him training with the Australians and the New Zealanders. Often the pace that he cuts at is just absolutely insane. Meanwhile, Marcel Steinkemper over to the second side of his block, about a half driver ahead of Olli Reinhardt as they are nearing the 22nd mark. And I imagine that we're going to see that going through fairly quickly. Oh, personal best for Steinkemper there, 21.27. Olli Reinhardt struggling to get through there. And we are not going to see a personal best for Reinhardt here, unfortunately, as he's got to get one more driver to get through. 29.64. Oh, boy. 9 seconds off his normal pace. And I don't know what happened there. But Marcel Steinkemper with an absolutely blistering pace, 21.27, just ahead of Denny Fielwert. So those two Germans are in the first 2 positions in the underhand chop results, and that puts them in the first 2 positions in the overall standings, that being the first event happening.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So 20.91 official time for Steinkemper. Olli Reinhardt with a 31.62, and that, for me, is quite surprising because he is so much faster than that regularly. Marcel with a sticky axe there, you could see. And that was Marcel's final driver as he stepped through. And I think he might have gotten hit with a piece of wood flying off of his block, and then Olli having to step down and step back up for that final driver. So underhand shop results will also be coincidentally our overall standings for the moment. Marcel Steinkemper in the first spot, Denny Vielwert and Christoph Geisler 2 and 3, Rolf Hasler, Armin Kugler, and Stefan Ordwarka rounding out the top 6. And then we have Cyril Pops, Lukas Wagesreiter, Denny Martin, Olli Reinhardt. Then we have Marcel Amann, Christoph Lang, Florian Hegele, Stefan Hübscher, Josef Leier, and Gunther Dallinger with a DQ for not cutting through the block completely. All right, so our competition is well and truly underway here. Marcel Steinkemper with a full 12 points, doing well to get himself into a good position in this competition so far. There's still a lot of action to come your way, including our next discipline with the motor saw. And in this one, it's not about power, it's at the stock saw.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional STIHL technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark. 1 downward and 1 upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, so there is our stock saw start list. We'll start things off today with Christoph Lang and Oliver Reinhardt. So the Germans tend to be very strong in the motor sawing disciplines, in particular Danny Martin, but it's clear Christoph Lang is right there among the best with his personal best 9.51. Stock saw world record, by the way, is 7.46. Redmer Knoll established that world record this year, so he was surprised by that as well, because that's not usually his favorite discipline, but he actually cut a fantastic block at the Benelux Championships.
Athletes ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, good start by Christoph Lang. He's got a bit of a thick cookie, though, so he's got to be careful on the transition and the upcut. Beautiful transition, though. Nice line. Ollie Reinhardt might have the faster cut. Oh, it's very, very close. 12.46 to 12.24 for these gentlemen. Nice cuts all around, so we have some times established there. Not as fast as normal for these guys, but cutting clean.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Yeah, Christoph Lang got in there real fast, although that first cookie was a little bit fatter than Grandma's chocolate chips. And a nice cookie there from Ollie Reinhardt. Beautiful transition there from Ollie as well. He looked like he was a bit quicker on the upcut, but because Christoph had the advantage of being in there a little bit quicker, they actually ended up even on the final drop. And it was Ollie Reinhardt 12.09 to Christoph Lang 12.30. So 21/100ths of a second difference between these two guys, and that is literally peanuts. Okay, heat number 2 coming up with Lukas Wagesreiter and Christoph Geisler.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your swords. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, very nice start by Christoph Geisler. He's got a very thin cookie there. Beautiful transition as well. Wagesreiter, nice transition, but it's Christoph Geisler with an 11.70. The question is, does he have 2 complete cookies on the deck? Because he went paper thin on those. Let's see if he actually gets a fair cut. Andrew Hall checking him to make sure.
Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, we have times in the block. Christoph Geisler taking over the new top spot there with 11.55 seconds. And Lukas Wagesreiter a little bit slower, actually, than predicted, and 12.43, so he has 4th place at the moment. You can see Christoph Geisler got into the block really quick and very, very thin. Watch here. Stepped into it, and his transition was absolutely fantastic. Here it comes right now. Hardly any swing, perfect timing, nice thin cookies, thin to win, as they say. So really, really good cut by Christoph Geisler there to put him atop the rankings in stock saw. It's still a lot of cutting to come. And again, in the blink of an eye, our stage crew getting things cleaned up and ready to go for our next set of heats, and that's going to be Rolf Hasler and Josef Laya. Josef quite good with a motor saw in hand, so we'll look for Josef to have a good cut, perhaps even a personal best. And Rolf Hasler with his very, very nice underhand is feeling good about his personal best, and will try and get himself some good points here and stay among the top 5. At the moment, he is sitting in 4th place.
Okay, gentlemen. Warm up your shores. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very nice start by Rolf Hasler. Oh my goodness, look how thin that cookie is. Josef Laier. Quick transition. Oh yes, look at that. Nice times for both these guys. Not personal best, but Rolf Hasler with a super thin first cookie. Hopefully that second cookie was okay. And let's see what he's got there. Thin to win is the word of the day, absolutely. And Rolf Hasler, not as fast as he had hoped with those two thin cookies, a 12.59.
Okay, congratulations.
Josef Laier with a 13.50. So Rolf Hasler, you can see he gets in there. Beautiful thin cookie. In that case, you got to be really wary that you're not too close to the outside. And there you see Josef Laier with a beautiful transition on that upcut. Also thin. And boy, Rolf Hasler had that on point. Both those cookies were beautiful. He just needs to get his timing a little bit. And you can see the angle from Josef Laier had a bit of an in angle on that second one. It was a big fat cookie. And you see Dan Janssen squaring up everything, making sure that the blocks are fair and set for our next set of heats. Okay. Up next, we're going to have heat number 4 with Marcel Ammann and Denny Vielwert. Yeah, you can hear the audience in the background when they said Denny's name. He's got a big fan club here today.
Okay, gentlemen. Warm up your shores. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, a bit of a skip on Denny Vielwert on the pickup, and Marcel Ammann in there quick, but he's got a bit of an angle on his cut as well, so he's got to be careful on the transition for the upcut. Denny had to reposition on his upcut, and it's going to be Marcel Ammann with a 12.59, Denny Vielwert in the 13.37. So far, the times have been a little bit slower than our personal best for our athletes. So you know what they say, when it chops well, it doesn't cut well or saw well. So maybe we're seeing that come to fruition here.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Marcel Ammann in 4th place, Denny Vielwert in 7th at the moment in Stocksar results. Yeah, a little bit, I don't know if it was a little skip on the pickup from Denny. Got in there, no hover or anything like that. He went into the wood right away. You can see the transition here. Ooh, he went big swing over on the transition. Marcel Ammann had 2 nice thin cookies though on his cut, so really precise cuts. Very, very nice, and that was a bit of a fat one for Denny Vielwert there on the backside. All right, we're going to get a block change here really quickly for our next set of heats. As as we'll be moving on to heat number 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the blocks are in place, unwrapped, and again, Dan Jensen will clean up the end of the block to make sure everything is flat before they are marked by our 2 judges on stage, Bart Janssen and Andy Hall. Cuts under close inspection from Global Sports Director Spike Milton, and he'll go and inspect the other side as well. Boys are cutting a few cheese boards out there for our audience members, it seems like. Okay, so next heat number 5 coming up with Stefan Hübscher and Marcel Steinkemper. Both of them, wow, look at those times. National record for Stefan Hübscher, 9.93, and Marcel also with a personal best, 9.93. So Marcel, as I mentioned, the German's very good with the stock saw. Could we see a fast time for Marcel with new blocks in there? Who knows? We'll see.
Okay, gentlemen. Warm up your shores. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, beautiful start by both of them. Stefan Hübscher with a bit of a fat block to start things off with. Marcel Steinkemper, nice transition to the upcut. Stefan Hübscher looks like he's going to be a little bit faster. Oh, it's so close, though, between the two. 11.91 to 12.18. Not a big difference between those two gentlemen on those cuts. Marcel Steinkemper clearly not satisfied with that, though, as he gives himself a bit of a head shake there, and Stefan Hübscher as well. Neither of them getting under 10 seconds this time around, which is their personal best 9.25s each, or 9.93s each. Stefan Hübscher celebrating with the Swiss audience, though.
We have a disqualification for
a cut
line. However, this cut is good.
So Marcel Steinkemper, unfortunately, with a cut line on his cut. So the upcut, I'm guessing, is he went over. And that means he is going to be DQ'd. So after having a very, very solid start, he is unfortunately going to be dropped down a little bit. He got a full 12 points from the underhand chop, and then this DQ happened, and yeah, that second cookie was just too big. too big. He went over the line, and unfortunately, that was it for him. So, yeah. That's heartbreak for Marcel, who was looking very, very good after that first discipline, the underhand, winning it. So we're moving on to the next heat now. Danny Martin and Cyril Papst. Danny Martin holding the German national record for this stock saw discipline. And as I mentioned, he is very, very comfortable with the motor saw in hand.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good quick start by both. Danny Martin with a thin cookie to start things off with. His transition is fantastic. Cyril Papst also good. Oh! And Cyril Papst with a quicker upcut. 11-17 and 11-8-9 for Danny Martin on the up. And it looks like all 4 cookies on the deck are going to be fair. We will see. Yep, Danny Martin got the thumbs up from Bart Janssen. A little shake of the hand going, whoo.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so far we have not seen any improvements in the individual athletes' personal best times. So I expect to see some good cuts on the next discipline, that standing block. Watching Cyril Papst here, his transition, beautiful. Barely any swing, nice aim. That first cookie for Danny was nice and thin, and absolutely acceptable second cookie. Might have just been pushing or pulling a little bit too hard, slowing that chain down. It's about the efficiency of the cuts and knowing how to read the motors. And yeah, today wasn't the day for actually any of our guys to make big improvements. All right, last 2 heats coming up. That's going to be heat number 7 and 8. Heat number 7 with Florian Hegele and Armin Kugler.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws.
All right, Florian Hegele left-hand side, Armin Kugler
timber.
right-hand side.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good pull by Florian Hegele. Looks like he's got a nice cut going on. Transition was good. Oh, boy. Armin Kugler coming in strong on that second cut, though. And both of them really close to each other. 12-18 for Hegele and 12-13 for Kugler.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right. No major surprises here. As I mentioned, I've been informed in the past that if the wood is chopping well, it's very often not sawing well. And you can see there Florian Hegele actually grabbed the brake, and they had to reach back and grab the handle. The cut, though, from Hegele was quite quick. The transition for Armin Kugler was beautiful, though, and his upcut is so smooth. He's just got that thing on lock, and he was real close. Both of them timing out at just over the 12-second mark. So far, though, Cyril Popst and Christoph Geisel, the top 2 positions in the stock saw results, and we get ready for our next heat, heat number 8, the final heat in stock saw, and that is Gunther Dallinger and Stefan Odwarka.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your shores. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Gunther Dallinger, a real quick pickup. Stefan Odwarka with a thin cookie dough. His lineup was very, very nice. Transition also good. Gunther Dallinger looking good on the upcut, but it's Odwarka with the faster upcut there. And a couple of decent times, 12.57 and 12.21.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, taking a look back at their slow-mos. That was the final heat in the stock saw. And you could see Gunther Dallinger, a little bit of a thicker cookie. The jump in there from Stefan Odwarka was real nice. He had a real nice thin cookie, and his transition was quite fantastic on the upcut. That was the difference maker for me. I think transition was clean and quick, and then he had nice flow on the upcut. Gunther Dallinger, his transition was decent, but perhaps not as clean as Stefan's was. Nevertheless, we have our stock saw results there, and it is Cyril Popst to Christoph Geisler, 1 and 2. Denny Martin, as expected, among the top 5 there. Could have been a little faster. You know, Denny, he always wants to be quick with the motor saw, but he's in good stead at the moment in 3rd place there. As we take a look at the remaining guys, Hasler, Vielwert, Leier, and Steinkemper bringing up the bottom of the stock saw. That means we're going to take a look at how the overall standings are now. So Christoph Geisler holds on to that top spot with Cyril Popst in 2nd, Armin Kugler in 3rd, and then we have a quartet, excuse me, of Germans: Stefan Odwarka, Danny Martin, Marcel Steinkemper, and Denny Vielwert in positions 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that makes life a little bit interesting there. The guys that are on a bit of a rough ride at the moment are the guys below position number 8, and that's Olli Reinhardt, Stefan Hübscher, Lukas Wagersreiter, Florian Hegeler, Marcel Amann, Christoph Lang, Gunther Dallinger, and Josef Leier, because we're only taking 8 athletes from this first round into the next round. But we got to get through the next discipline first, and that's standing block chop.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
So there's your lineup for standing block chop, and we'll start things off with Lukas Wagersreiter and Josef Leier. This is the last discipline before the cutoff, so this is the last opportunity for the guys to try and get as many points as they can in the first round in order to be able to be among the top 8 moving into the second round. You can see The athletes setting up their blocks on the deck. Lukas Wagersreiter to the left, far left. Rolf Hasler in stand number 2 there. Josef Leier in stand number 3, and Stefan Odvarka. Or no, excuse me. Yeah, but it's Danny Martin setting it up for Stefan Odvarka in stand number 4 there. Ah, but Stefan's there. All right, last bits of preparation on those 2 stands at the back, because we will move on to our next discipline after standing block. Is the single buck. But lots of action still to get through here first, as we have to get through the standing block chop to whittle our numbers down to the final 8 moving into the next round. Okay, heat number 1, standing block chop, Lukas Wagersreiter and Josef Leier. Advantage definitely goes to Josef here in this one. Tail of the tape says so at least. But as we've seen, the chopping disciplines are doing quite well today. So will we see some personal best fall by the wayside here? That is the hope. And we'll see only after this discipline is complete if that is in fact the case.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Josef Leier had a little bit of a pause there with his axe as the timer said go, and they are into it. Both moving over to the second side quickly. Both are chopping well today. Wagersreiter looking good. He wants some power drivers in there as he wants to get rid of some of that material. Josef Leier looking pretty close to getting through that block as he's trying to find that line through now, though. Might have went at it a little bit too early. One more driver should do it for Josef Leier. 33.10 and a 33.03 for Wagersreiter. How close was that between those two? And Wagersreiter is going to take a PB out of that one. A personal best for Lukas. He'll like that, a 33.03, and a big grin from the mustachioed Josef Leier.
Okay, congratulations. Both cats are good.
Okay, times are in the blocks, and we have our first set of scores as we start in the last discipline of our first round of competition here. You can see both of them really going at it. Full concentration from both of these gentlemen as they try and get those big chips out of the block. Wagersreiter trying to find that line through. Josef Leier was doing the same thing here. He thought he had it a little bit earlier perhaps, and tried to find that line through. Cut a couple of pieces of new material though, but both of them timed out really, really close to each other. Good run by these two guys. Clean cut through from Josef Leier and a little bit of a pirouette and a block drag from Lukas Wagersreiter as we move to our next standing block, Heat 2, Rolf Hasler and Stefan Odvarka. So Rolf Hasler had a really nice underhand chop dropping of excellent personal best. And he's hoping to bring some of that momentum into this standing block here. That was at least what he said in his interview. And you can see there the shape of the blade that he's using here is a banana. So let's see. A lot of the guys have been using chisels on the blocks today. And Rolf has opted for a banana blade, but I think Stefan has also opted for the banana as well.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, big chips coming out there for Rolf Hasler, who's looking very good to start this off with. Stefan Odvarka, really nice pace by Stefan as he is working that first side beautifully. We should see them move over to the other side shortly. There they go, onto that second side. Rolf Hasler looking very good. Stefan Odvarka looking excellent on that second side as well. We may see a good time for him, perhaps even his personal bests, although, no, not at this point. I don't think they've both gone past their personal bests, or at least Rolf Hasler still might be able to make it. No, just off by a second, unfortunately. So Rolf Hasler not going to get a PB out of this one with a 42.01, and Stefan Odvarka quite a bit off his personal best with a 35.30.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
You can see the heavy drivers there from Rolf Hasler, trying to get as much out of that block as possible. Here was a really nice side by Stefan Odvarka. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a lot of it in the slow-mo replay, but he had some really clean lines on that first side. Not a lot of extra wood being cut there. It was a good, efficient cut for him. Just on the second side, a little bit slower than anticipated. A little bit of salad there for Rolf Hasler, so if he can clean that up with that power that he's got, he'll be really strong. All right, just waiting for an interview with Stefan Odvarka.
Stefan Odvarka, der schnellste, stärkste Deutsche bis jetzt im Zwischenklassement. Stefan, wie fühlt es sich an heute?
Ja, fühlt sich ganz gut an. Ich glaube, ich habe einen guten Tag heute. Bin gut drauf, ganz gut fokussiert. Habe mir zwar jetzt ein bisschen mehr vorgenommen. Das Holz war auch sehr gut, die Axt hat gut gepasst. Da waren ein paar kleine Fehler dabei, das hat mich ein bisschen Zeit gekostet, aber im Großen und Ganzen bin ich zufrieden.
So he says he's feeling pretty good today. He's in good shape. He expected a little bit more out of that last cut, but that's the way it goes. Everything otherwise is going well.
Vor der Schweizer Fangemeinschaft, da will man wahrscheinlich auch das Beste zeigen, nehme ich an.
Ja, wir haben ein sehr starkes Teilnehmerfeld, also da jetzt gewinnen ist hochgegriffen, aber ich würde sagen, wenn ich in die zweite, auf jeden Fall in die dritte Runde komme, zur Hotzor-Runde, da bin ich glücklich. Hotzor liegt mir, kann ich ganz gut und da kann ich nochmal zeigen, was ich kann.
So winning is maybe expecting a little bit too much today with the strong field that's here, but as long as he can get into that second and third round and get the hot saw in his hands, he's good with the hot saw and he would be happy with that. All right, nice interview from Stefan Odvarka there, short and sweet, and we are ready for our next set of heats here in standing block, and that is heats 3 and 4 with Gunther Dallinger, Florian Hegele, Christoph Lang, and Cyril Papst. And Gunther Dallinger and Florian Hegele getting ready to go in their first heat here between the two of them in standing block, heat number 3.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, these two guys are motivated, you could say. Florian Hegele just going for it. He switches to the other side. One driver after. Gunther Dahlinger got started on his second side. Gunther Dahlinger putting everything he's got into this one. Could be a good heat for both of these gentlemen here as they are pushing each other right to the limit. Gunther Dahlinger almost there. Oh no, he's got a little scrap left in there and he gets it down in 28.51. Florian Hegele trying to find that line through, and he too struggling to get through there as expected, and finally drops it in 37.70. Oi, oi, oi. Gunther Dahlinger, though, with a 28.51, takes over the top spot there with a good, solid heat. You can see the split there, though, for Florian's block, and that
congratulations.
Usually means that each driver is losing energy as it hits the block because the block moves too much. And that is a risk of the natural product here that we're using. And we can see here, also Gunther Dahlinger really, you can just see, focus on that block. Florian Hegele also really nice drivers there. Plenty of power, and there that strap just holding on, and he missed the hit there. Cost him 1.5, maybe 2 seconds. And here, Florian trying to find his way through that block. Finally did it, but unfortunately the time wasn't expected, as expected. So 37.29 for Florian, but a nice time of 28.28 for Gunther Dahlinger, and we move on to Christoph Lang against Cyril Papst.
Okay, gentlemen, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, they're in sync with each other almost. Christoph Lang looking good and powerful. Cyril Papst looking pace. The pace he's got going on here. Blowing out the chips from that block. Cyril Papst onto the second side. 3 drivers ahead of Christoph Lang as Christoph gets started on that second side. And Cyril Papst, we may see a good time from him here as he gets it done in 26 seconds, moving into the top position. Oh, and a personal best for Christoph Lang. Great job by him to slip into second place in the standing block result. So very, very nice run from Christoph Lang, who has set himself in a good position here so far. And he is showing a lot of gumption here today.
Okay, congratulations. Both cats are good.
So great personal best for Christoph Lang, 26.42. Cyril Papst with a 25.72 after adjustment has the fastest time of the day so far and is the time to beat. But both these guys got into it right away. The pace was nice. The power was really, really nice from both of them. You could see the accuracy of Cyril Papst was really on point. Only 1 or 2 minor steps there, but otherwise super clean lines on his block. And this last couple of drivers for him to drop that block in 25.72 seconds. And yeah, great job by Christoph Lang as well. Nice clean final driver through for the second fastest time of the day in 26.42. All right, well, all of these guys are looking forward to a chance to get to the World Championships, and especially the leaders in each of the various nations. And why wouldn't you want to be there? The World Championships is a big deal. Let's take a look at what we can expect. So the 24th and 25th of October, and we can expect wow, a lot of fun at that event because the vibe is always alive at the World Championships. When we have the best in the world there, we'll also be joined by the Canadians, the Americans, the New Zealanders, the Australians, and of course our host nation, Italy, and then the 8 best athletes from the European rankings. Among them may well be Denny Martin and Christoph Geisler, depending on how this weekend here goes at the 2025 STIHL Timbersports DACH Men's Pro Finale here. So it's about getting as many points as possible. Christoph Geisler with a very solid 17.44 standing block chop. One of the best standing block choppers present this weekend.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Nice start. Danny Martin. Oh, he is angry at that block, Danny Martin. He wants onto that other side quick, and he is over fast. 1, 2, 3 drivers ahead of Christoph Geisler on that second side. And we are looking for maybe fastest time of the day today. Yes, we are indeed. A personal best by Danny Martin, 19.91. Christoph Geisler, 25.46, surprising. Still second fastest in the standing block chop, but Danny Martin, the first guy to make it under 20 seconds today, and he was really pleased by that. You can see the fist bump immediately after he looked up and saw the time on the scoreboard. 19.55 after readjustment, and that is a great time for Danny Martin and a personal best.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Christoph Geisler continues to amaze at 51 years old, still holding on to the top spot in the overall rankings. Danny Martin, however, moves into 3rd place currently, and we still got a few guys to hit, but boy, look at how angry Danny Martin was at this block. He did not want to have that block in front of him long, and he took no time at all on that first side and switched over to that second side as quickly as possible. 3 hits ahead of Christoph Geisler. And watch this final driver set here from Danny. Bang, it's off, no twist at all, and there's the reaction that we like to see from Danny Martin. Yes, he's got himself a personal best time, under 20 seconds. Great job. Christoph Geisler, yep, clearly disappointed, but still fast. 25.07 in 2nd place in standing. Okay, Stefan Hübscher up next against Armin Kugler. I think at the moment the standing block world record is held by Matt Kogar from the USA. He got that at the individual world champion back in 2018, so it's hung on for quite a while.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Stefan Hübscher, quick pace on his block. Armin Kugler also pretty fast as well, but the power Armin Kugler puts into those drivers. And Armin Kugler 1 full driver ahead of Hübscher on the second side. Hübscher looking good on that second side. So wiggling and waggling already for the Swiss man. Oh boy, Armin Kugler with a 21.33, and Hübscher 1 more driver should do it, 26.87. So Armin Kugler slips into 2nd place just ahead of Christoph Geisler, just behind Danny Martin. And Stefan Hübscher, 6th place in standing block chop. Solid position for him. We'll have to see how it all plays out in the wash when we see the final results of the standing block and how that mixes things up in the overall standings. Uh-oh, now we have a flag on the play. Not sure what might be the situation here, but it could be a wrenching penalty. We'll see. We'll have to wait and find out what they say from the Competition Control Center, and that's where we are right now. Quick look inside to see what Schul Janssen is looking at there on that final driver from Stefan Hübscher, I believe. And if he twisted the axe to try and break the block off, and that would be considered wrenching, which is a disqualification fine.
So we have a disqualification for a slab at the block with no slab nails fixed. However, this cut is good.
A DQ for a slab. That's interesting. So I would have to find that out for myself, actually, what that means. But we'll see back here on the replay if we can perhaps see ourselves what that came to on the second side for Stefan Hübscher. There, Armin Kugler with that final driver, putting him in second place for the moment. I don't really understand what the drama was on that block for Stefan Hübscher.
Bei mir jetzt
Let's
der
hear from
führende
Armin Kugler.
Österreicher im Zwischenklassement. Armin Kugler, gerade eben wieder reüssiert im Standing-Block-Job. Wie ist das Gefühl heute?
Eigentlich recht gut. Am Standing war ich jetzt echt zufrieden mit meiner Zeit. Schauen wir, wie es weitergeht.
So how's it feel today? Pretty good. He was satisfied with his time on standing, so we'll see how it goes the rest of the day.
Ja, ich möchte bester Österreicher werden, auf jeden Fall. Das ist mir doch schon einige Male gelungen in der Vergangenheit. Das ist mein großes Ziel und alles, was sonst noch drin ist, würde mich freuen.
So he wants to be the best Austrian today and continue that in the future, so we'll see how it goes.
Egal. 700 habe ich zu Hause auch, im Trainingszentrum 800. Egal, für alle gleich.
Ich wünsche Ihnen noch viel Erfolg heute im Wettkampf. Vielen Dank fürs Interview. Zurück ins Studio.
Okay, so Armin Kugler currently in a pretty decent spot in the overall rankings, but there are still 2 more heats to go here, and that is Heat 7 and Heat 8 with Marcel Steinkemper, who is very, very good in standing block. We've often seen him as the last cutter in the team competition. We also have Marcel Amann, and then heat number 8, Denny Fjellwert and Oliver Reinhardt. So also solid standing block. Okay, Marcel Steinkemper, Marcel Amann. The battle of the 2 Marcels.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Marcel Steinkemper, Marcel Amann. Steinkemper, a little sticky axe there as he had to drag that out. Amann over to the second side of his block quite quickly, left a lot of material on that front side. Marcel Steinkemper opened his second side up a little bit wider here as he's putting in as much as he can. Got a real sticky axe again. Oh, and Steinkemper might have a bit of a problem there with that final cut. 24.27, a good time, and Marcel Amann with a 28.85. They're going to look at that block to make sure that everything is cut off clean. And Marcel Steinkemper would have a 24.27 in third place if everything is okay, and it looks like it is for his block, in fact. Marcel Amann with a 28.25 in 7th place in the standing block chop.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, Marcel and Marcel, a 24.09 and a 28.25. You choose who you want to give them to, as we'll take a quick look back at the slow-mos here. So Marcel Amann was quick to get to that second side. In fact, I think he may have just shortcut that first side with 6 hits and then moved over to that second side. Pretty clean, pretty good chips coming out, and he didn't waste any time getting that second side. Marcel Steinkemper went a little bit deeper, a couple extra hits on his first side, He wanted to make sure that he didn't have a lot to cut through on that second side. And that boded well for him here because he did cut through and he got a good solid time of 24:09. So last heat coming up on deck, and that's going to be Denny Fjellvedt, and we'll listen for the fan reaction when they announce his name, going up against Oliver Reinhardt. So let's see if Ollie can actually get that 19:04 as his personal best. That would put him in front of Danny Martin. There's the scream from the crowd as they announce Danny's name. And Ollie Reinhardt has a big fan club here as well.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both of them got into that wood at the same time. Ollie Reinhardt, big driver, switches to the other side, chipping nicely. Denny Fjellvedt still on the first side. He moved over to the second side. Ollie Reinhardt pacing big time here, and we may see a good time from Ollie Reinhardt. 18 seconds, 19 seconds. It's not going to be as fast this time, but it will be enough for a second position in the standing. And Denny Fjellvedt with a 24:53 puts him in 5th place in standing block chop. And that means a good position for him to be there in the next round, along with Ollie Reinhardt, I believe. Yes, in fact, that will see him go over to the next round too. So that is all she wrote for round number 1. Standing block chop is now complete, and we will see after the slow-mos how everything breaks down,
okay,
and who will be moving on to the next round. Okay, and Denny Fjellvedt with a personal best. Good job. So let's look back at that slow motion. So, oh yeah, a bit of a sticky axe there for Denny as he started chipping out nicely. The optimal situation is when that axe impacts the wood that you see right there what happened with Ollie Reinhardt, that the wood just explodes away from the block. You can see Ollie, he's got a bit of a steppy cut there, but he's going into speed and power. Hey, and it worked for him. 20:54, not his fastest time, but he's right there behind Danny Martin in the top 4, or the second place, in fact, in standing block chop. So here we see the official results of standing. Danny Martin, Ollie Reinhardt, Armin Kugler, Marcel Steinkemper, and Denny Fjellvedt in the top 5 positions in standing block chop. And we see the remainder of the guys on the list as we go down that list there. And then we'll take a look at the overall standings here shortly to see how that affects our overall. So we're still in the bottom of it now. There's 1 DQ because of slab, and now the overall standings, we should see Christoph Geisler atop the leaderboard there. Armin Kugler holding on to 2nd place. Danny Martin in good 3rd place. Cyril Pabst 4, Marcel Steinkemper 5, Ollie Reinhardt 6, Denny Fjellvedt 7, and Stefan Odvarka, his wish comes true. He is in 8th place here as he will be joining the remainder guys on the top of that list and moving into the next round. The remainder below them will be eliminated from competition as we will only be taking 8 athletes into the next round, splitting our field in half. And I believe we'll get the official graphics coming in shortly here once we get all that inputted into our system and see who, in fact, will be moving into the next round and our next discipline, the single buck.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand-sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters, and rakers, just like on the old school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around €1,500. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
All right, there you see our list of athletes moving to the next round, and it is considerably smaller than before. We went from 16 athletes to 8, and now we are down to it. One more round here before we narrow it down again to 6 athletes for our hot saw, but they need to get through single buck and springboard first. So first heat is going to be a couple of Germans in the mix. On the single buck, Stefan Odwarka and Denny Vielwert will be the first 2 out there. Then we'll see Olli Reinhardt against Marcel Steinkemper, Cyril Paps and Danny Martin, and then Armin Kugler and Christoph Geisler. And as you heard, the single buck, the 2-meter-long cross-cut saw being used for this discipline, is sometimes referred to as the misery whip. And if the saw stops mid-cut on a push-through or a drawback and just stops and bows, that will make you miserable, hence the nickname Misery Whip. And the idea here is just to keep that saw flowing, keep that saw moving, and make sure that you have a good, efficient cut and flow on the saw. So the guys coming out with their saws right now, very, very expensive saws, and they're used usually once in a competition and then resharpened. Sometimes you'll see that they will be used multiple times during a trophy format. So yeah, and it's not cheap to maintain these saws. Stefan Odwarka and Denny Vielwert, both German, both having fairly solid personal best times. Tail of the tape gives the ever so slight advantage to Stefan Odwarka. A little bit of house cleaning for him before he sets himself and gets ready to race. Denny Vielwert chewing some of the sawdust taken out of the block. No, just kidding.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice start by both. Stefan Odwarka using a good stride. Oh, Denny Vielwert looking really good here too as well, as he's starting to get into a really nice flow towards the bottom of that cut. We may see a nice cut. Oh, he got sticky at the bottom though, but that is a nice cut from Denny Vielwert, 18:04. A little bit faster than Stefan today, who wasn't having the luck of the draw, on a 22:55 time for him. So Denny Vielwert set the pace with a nice cut, not his fastest, but oh wait, yes, it is going to be his fastest. After there was an adjustment from our competition control center, they found that he did in fact have a slightly faster time, 17:76. So it is just a few hundredths of a second faster than his previous personal best. So Denny Vielwert breaks the yellow box and has a PB. You can see he got into a real nice pace there in the midsection of this cut. Got a little bit sticky towards the bottom. Not massively, but you could see the saw stopped on him twice there. And restarting that saw can be a real bear, and you got to be careful not to break that cookie off. Stefan Odwarka struggling a little bit through the bottom of that cut, and we move on to our next heat with Oliver Reinhardt and Marcel Steinkemper. All right, Marcel is an excellent single Sawyer. His personal best, 13.94. Very, very quick time. Oliver Reinhardt, a 15.40. And really, with the single saw, it's mostly just about cutting. Getting that feel for it and trying to improve minor things along the way. Making sure that your line is straight, that you don't rock the saw when you're going in and out of the draw. Making sure that your body position is going to give you the optimal pull and push. But as I said, Marcel is an excellent single Sawyer. He needs a 17.76 for the lead. Let's see if he can do it.
Okay, gentlemen.
Ollie Reinhardt, definitely no slouch in this discipline either. Here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, good start by both of them. Oh, a big stick for Ollie Reinhardt, though. And both of these guys opting for, yeah, just quick, ugly cut vines here. Not using the whole saw. Marcel Steinkemper struggling a bit as well. Ollie Reinhardt finding his flow, and he gets to the bottom of this one in 19.04. Marcel Steinkemper, 22.02. So no fun times for them today, as Marcel has third place and Ollie Reinhardt second place. And I'm sorry, but that was some ugly cutting right there. Holy moly. They just went for speed pulls and pushes as opposed to trying for those long, flowy cut lines.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
You could see both of them struggled a little bit with the saw stopping, and right there was a massive stop for Ollie Reinhardt. And then we saw Marcel Steinkemper also get one hardcore stop near the bottom of his cut. I believe it was here, and the saw just stopped on him. Yeah, just briefly. And then he got that final push through on the cut, and yeah, both of these guys are going to be looking at those cuts and going, eh. All right, next heat coming up, we have Armin Kugler against Danny Martin and Cyril Pabst. I've jumped ahead a bit too far. It's heat number 3, Cyril Pabst, Danny Martin. Danny Martin holding the national records. And Danny has, in the last few years, become an exceptionally well-rounded timber sports athlete. Previously, you know, he was very, very strong in the motor saw disciplines, did hold the world record in the hot saw for a short time there. He feels comfortable with those saws in the hands, but tended to struggle a little bit with the single buck and, you know, complained occasionally because of the underhand or the standing block chop. But he got down to work and just got busy with making sure that he did what he needed to do to improve, and has become since then one of the most well-rounded timber sports athletes, being able to participate in all of these disciplines and be right there among the top in the groups.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, Danny Martin and Cyril Pabst both getting into it. Now you can see the difference in style between these two guys and the two previous. They've got pace, but they're also using the entire length of the saw. Super efficient cutting from Danny Martin as well, as he gets to the bottom in a beautiful time of 16.32. That'll put him atop the leaderboard. And Cyril Pabst with a 27.6 has him in 4th place, just behind Ollie Reinhardt. So Danny Martin and Denny Fielwert in 1 and 2. And the only guy so far with a personal best on the day is Denny Fielwert with that 17.76. And Danny Martin's time of 16.10 has him atop the leaderboard for single buck.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
can see both of them have a similar style, going for tip to knuckles cutting. You can see there the saw really literally hitting the bolts of the handle from Danny Martin. And the same thing for Cyril Paps. They're using the most efficient cut line possible to really make sure they're getting through the entire length of that cut as quickly as possible, using all of those teeth in that saw. And it boded well for Danny Martin. Not his best time, let's be honest, but he is atop the leaderboard with one more heat to go, and that's Armin Kugler and Christoph Geisler. That said, these two guys are excellent single sawyers.
Und für die Schweiz verantwortlich tut sich am Singlebach Christoph Geisler. Und jetzt Fußschüttler im Publikum, sogar die Athleten auf der Bühne anzutreiben. Eure Wettkämpfe hier auf der Bühne anzutreiben.
I love Christoph Geisler's golf shoes, by the
Okay,
way. Absolutely fantastic.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, great start by Christoph Geisler. And that shows you the experience and skill he has here. Armin Kugler right into it as well, but you can see that saw disappearing into the cut each time. Beautiful job by both of these guys. Getting down to the bottom here. They got to be faster than 16:10. It's not going to happen here, but Armin Kugler with a 19:20, Christoph Geisler with a 26:9 puts them, let's see, Christoph Geisler has 6th place. Armin Kugler sitting in 4th place right now in the single saw. So we're going to take a look how that is going to affect the standings here as they'll move to the front of the stage and the decision zone.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, slow-mo's coming up here. We'll pick this apart a little bit. Christoph had a really, really nice start, but you could see he was rocking the saw a little bit. I don't know if that slowed him down or if it's just an unusual situation for him. I've never seen him rock the saw that much as today. Nice cut from Armin Kugler, but Danny Martin and Denny Fieldrath with the 2 fastest cuts of the day. Ollie Reinhardt holding on to 3rd place. Armin Kugler with that cut has himself in 4th place. Christoph Geisler just behind the other Swiss man Cyril Papst in 6th, as we see the single buck results here. Marcel Steinkemper and Stefan Odwarka 7 and 8, and they really need to have an amazing springboard in order to step up a notch here. We'll take a look at the overall rankings here. So Danny Martin, Denny Fieldrath, Ollie Reinhardt, Armin Kugler, Christoph Papst, Christoph Geisler, Cyril Papst, excuse me, Christoph Geisler, Marcel Steinkemper, and Stefan Odwarka. Danny Martin moving into the lead. Armin Kugler just behind him. And Christoph Geisler in 3rd place. Denny Fieldrath in a good position in 4th place. Ollie Reinhardt, Cyril Papst, Marcel Steinkemper, and Stefan Odwarka bringing up the remaining 4 positions at the bottom there. Now let's not forget, folks, we're going to take only 6 of those athletes into the next round after our next discipline coming up, which is being set up on stage right now, and that is the springboard. Now the springboard for me is that discipline that really is the maker or the breaker, as we'll take a look back here really quickly at the DACH women's final and what happened there earlier on in the day. Great women's competition earlier on today. And Austria's Juliana Einfalt winning the competition at the top of the podium. Johanna Loretz taking second place, and Kat Eccles from Great Britain ended up on the podium in third place. And there you have your podium for a fantastic women's competition from earlier on. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing more amazing women's competition in the future. We still do have quite a bit of competition here for our men coming up, and the springboard is the next discipline. It is quite the process to get the stage set up for the springboard, and you'll see why shortly, as more or less they're building a mini forest up there, and we're going to get a quick interview with Juliana Einfalt.
So sehen Siegerinnen aus, nur wenige Stunden nach ihrem Triumph hier als erste Siegerin des Dachfinales im Timbersports der Frauen. 2025 die Dachmeisterin. Hier bei mir jetzt im Interview Juliana Einfalt. Juliana, ich glaube, es gibt zuerst einmal einen Applaus aus dem Publikum für die erste Dachgewinnerin überhaupt.
So a big applause for our first Dach Women's Champion.
Juliana, wie fühlt sich's an?
Einfach mega. Ein Hammergefühl.
So how does it feel? Awesome. Can't believe it.
Da könnte hier mehr drin liegen.
Das allererste Mal gemerkt beim Standing. Das ist einfach fluffig, leicht von der Hand gegangen.
Womit erklärst du dir das heute?
So as she said, the standing block was just too easy for her.
Einfach alles zusammengepasst. Das Holz, die Axt, die mentale Stärke.
Everything seemed to come together, the wood, the axe, the mental strength.
Im Kopf durchspielt, was da jetzt kommen könnte, ob vielleicht dieses Wochenende hier der Triumph drin liegen könnte?
Bei der Anreise noch nicht, aber so kurz vor dem Bewerb, bevor es startet, geht man noch alles so durch, was, wie man macht. Dann läuft das schon.
Gab es auch so Momente, wo du heute gedacht hast bei den Disziplinen, ja, da bin ich jetzt mit Glück durchgekommen. Hast du kurz mal gezweifelt da heute? Hat mich nicht gedünkt.
Ich aber schon.
Yeah, was there any issue at the headspace for you and coming into this competition? Or didn't look like it was too bad. She says, yeah, for her, yes, for sure. But came together in the end. She did have an injury to her knee that was causing problems, but it didn't seem to be an issue for her.
Du hast dich nicht davon beirren lassen, du hast durchgezogen, hast heute auch hier eben den Dachtitel abgeholt. Was bedeutet das für dich?
Das bedeutet eigentlich alles. Das ist eigentlich ein super Gefühl und ja.
So what does the title mean for you? And it just means everything for me. And it's a good feeling.
Kann man auch gut wieder nach Hause reisen mit diesem Titel im Gepäck. Da investiert man ja auch viel drin als Sportlerin, viele Stunden, viele Tage, die da reingehen an Trainings. Ist es auch ein Stück weit Belohnung für das Ganze, was man da reinsteckt an Passion, an Geld, an Zeit?
Eigentlich schon. Wenn du am Abend nach Hause fährst und du hast.
So with all the training and everything that you put into the event here and the money, it means a lot to be able to take this title home. And the answer is absolutely yes. With all the effort that goes into it, being able to drive home with that prize is a big deal.
Also ja, ich könnte mitfahren mit den Jungs, weil die erste Dame oder der erste Rookie, der was morgen drankommt, kann dann mit runterfahren mit den Jungs.
Also kann man da sich nochmals begutachten, quasi deine Leistungen abrufen. Jetzt heute hier in Wildhaus, du hast gemerkt, die Leute, die haben richtig Bock auf Timbersports. Hat man das gespürt auf der Bühne auch, nehme ich an.
So the folks here in Wildhaus are definitely passionate about Timbersports. Did you feel it on the stage? And absolutely, you can feel it on the stage. Big congratulations to Juliana Einfalt.
Ja, das ich weiß schon.
Dann sehen wir uns vielleicht später noch im Festzelt und damit zurück ins Studio.
So the question is, we're going to party a little bit later on in the party tent, and the answer is, yeah, definitely. All right. So that was that from Juliana Einfalt as we still prepare our main stage for our next discipline. And slowly it is coming together as we can from our perspective, or my perspective here, see that the stands are in place and the athletes are now putting their blocks up on top. And you see there in our studio, Guido and Sean continuing to entertain the German fans. So you saw briefly there the hashtag for STIHL Timbersports. There is also a hashtag called Kiss My Axe, not to be mistaken with the other Kiss My. If you want to get involved in the conversation and post any of your pictures that you've been here locally, if you are here locally or have been to an event, please do so by using hashtag STIHL Timbersports or hashtag Kiss My Axe. All right, so we talked a little bit about the wood that's been being used in the competition, and we're also looking a little bit
is an international extreme sports competition series featuring 6 disciplines: 3 chopping and 3 sawing. We have a premier competition, we need premier wood. The biggest challenges that I face as part of my role is to ensure that our competitions are supplied with the highest quality wood.
Each individual tree is examined for its conformation before processing. We need to make it fair for all athletes. So we are selecting different sections of the trees to use for each of our specific disciplines.
Once the trees are felled, extracted and transported to our facilities, we measure, mark and then cut the wood into sized blocks. We then peel the blocks ready for competition. After careful selection, the blocks then leave our yard and are distributed internationally to our STIHL Timbersports competitions.
So back in studio with the boys briefly, and I do believe that we're going to head up onto the main stage and join Julian one more time, who should be with Bart Janssen talking a little bit about the wood that we're using here at this event. And we'll wait just briefly to see if Bart is available for that interview. In the meantime, we're still getting ready on stage, and hopefully we'll get some images from the stage for you, so you have an idea of what that process looks like to get this set up for Springboard.
Ja, und was die Athleten heute hier natürlich auch wieder umtreibt, ist das Holz. Es war heute Morgen das Erste, was hier diskutiert wurde, und es ist auch das, was man jetzt gerade auf der Bühne wieder sieht, wie es installiert wird. Bei mir jetzt hier einer der Judges aus den Niederlanden, Bart Janssen. Bart, was haben wir hier für Holz auf der Bühne genau?
Also wir haben hier Plantageholz, Pappelholz. Das meiste ist Pappelholz, nur für die
So this is plantation wood, poplar wood, and it's grown in a plantation.
Natürliche Sorte. Das heißt, im Bauerhof, wie ein Weihnachtsbaum. Und wenn eine
So it's similar to like in a farmer's Christmas tree, and we try and grow it so that the end result is all the same for the competitions.
Du hast eben gesagt, es kommt aus Plantagen. Sind das Plantagen in Europa oder wo kommt das geografisch her?
Ja, die Plantage über verschiedene Plantagen in den Niederlanden, in Belgien, in Frankreich und in Ungarn.
The plantations are in Netherlands, French and Belgium.
Die macht viel aus, wenn da plötzlich Äste drin sind. Das kann dann eben Einfluss auf den Wettkampf haben. Was wird mit dem Holz nach dem Wettkampf gemacht?
Knots can make a difference during the competition.
Ja, die Plantage, die sind dafür, Energieholz zu machen.
The plantations are there for basically energy wood. So they use them on stage for the timber sports, and then after the fact they're turned into energy wood.
Es kann noch genutzt werden, dieses Holz. Jetzt grundsätzlich hier zum Dachfinale 2025 Timbersports, STIHL Timbersports. Wie seid ihr seitens Judges zufrieden mit dem bisher gezeigten?
Ich denke, wir können sehr, sehr zufrieden sein. Das Holz
I
ist
think we'd
einigermaßen
be
gleich.
really
Die
satisfied
Hauptblöcke
with
sind
the
ein
results
Traum.
here.
Und
The
gerade
wood's
Singleblöcke
been
zum Beispiel,
a dream
White
this
Pine,
year,
das war ein
and
Block, den wir gesplittet haben. Also für die Sportler ist
we
es dann
see that
komplett
sometimes the
gleich. Wir
blocks
gehen
do get
20
split,
Zentimeter
and
nach links
the
und 20
athletes,
Zentimeter nach rechts.
you know,
Also
have to
wir
make the
sägen in
adjustments
40
20
Zentimeter
centimeters
vom
to the
Holz.
right or
Also die
20
Bedingungen
centimeters to the
sind für
left,
alle Leute dann gleich.
and so that
Also auch
that way
hier
everybody
im
is the
Hintergrund
same.
viel Leistung, viel was gemacht wird, damit hier alle mit gleich langen Spießen antreten können. Vielen Dank, Bart. Zurück ins Studio.
We as STIHL Timbersports pride ourselves that all wood is sustainably grown, harvested and recycled to minimise the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this popular wood is grown on certified plantations. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. We quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests.
Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
All right, we are almost there, and so I think now we can finally talk about the discipline that's coming up, and let's have a look at the discipline Springboard.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
All right, there we do have our springboard lineups for heats. Stefano Dwarka, Danny Vielwert, Oliver Reinhardt, Marcel Steinkemper, Cyril Papst, Danny Martin, Armin Kugler, and Christoph Geisler. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, there you see our little mini forest that the crew has built up to get ready for the springboard discipline. There will be another block change after the first 2 heats, and we'll be able to get a bit deeper into it. But first and foremost, Stefano Dwarka and Denny Vielwert coming out for their springboard runs. Now, there is a time limit for this discipline because of safety. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe, is the time. The option here is to try and get the pockets set quickly so that you can get up on that block and really, or get up on those boards and really start to cut at that top block as quickly as possible. Therein lies the rub. Setting those pockets and getting those springboards in place is a big part of the safety aspect of this discipline and also the speed aspect of it. You want to make sure your boards are in and solid so you can stand on them and feel confident standing on them, especially when you consider that at the end you're up 2 meters in the air and cutting at that top block. So essentially you're doing a standing block chop 2 meters above the ground, and you don't want to have that board shimmying and slipping out and falling down. So this is the key here, is to set those pockets and boards in place quickly and efficiently.
Ready.
Here we go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Stefano Dwarka with a 4-hit pocket, beautiful. And Danny Vielwert also with a 4-hit pocket and gets that board in a little bit behind Stefano Dwarka, who is now working on setting his second pocket. Danny Vielwert with a nice 4-hit second pocket. Is he in there on that board and solid? It looks like he's going to get up there and be good. Just at the 30-second mark, that's a good start for Danny Vielwert as he starts working on that top board. You can see he's a little bit farther forward on the board, and it is sagging a bit on him, so he's going to have to step forward now as Stefano Dwarka starts working on the top block, and his board looks fairly good. parallel to the ground, good and solid. He can step back on that board and really utilize some of the power from his back leg. Now you can see Denny Fieldrath has had to step forward on the board as to not put too much pressure on the back end and have it sag out even more. And that's a beautiful board by Stefan Odwarka as they've just passed the minute mark, and they're both working on that top block. And they're going to go deep on the first side. Unlike the standing block chop, in the traditional sense, they'll go deep on the first side and then start to cut like Denny Fieldrath is doing right now on that awkward angle on the backside. And we have a time in the books, 1:17:31, and Odwarka is working on that backside of his block now to try and get through there. And he is there in 1:28:45. So 2 times in the books for these guys, not their fastest times, but they do have them recorded with no DQs. It's looking good for both of them. Really nice quick pockets by both guys to get up there and start working on the top block. A little bit of sag by Denny Fieldrath, but nothing too out of the ordinary.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So the 2 teammates giving each other a quick handshake there as we take a look back at this pretty good start. So 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for Stefan Odwarka. I counted that when we were doing live. And I believe they both had roughly 4 hit pockets. Stefan maybe a few more hits, 6 hits to clean up and do some housekeeping on that pocket. And actually it did him well to take the extra time there on that second pocket because he had a really, really good board as he got up there and started to work, and then it was just about trying to be fast on that first one. The optimal situation is 4 and 4, and then just really go to town on that block at the top. Denny Fieldrath looking pretty pleased with that cut, though. Not his personal best. His personal best is just literally 0.09 of a second over the 1 minute mark as our next 2 athletes come out on stage, Oliver Reinhardt and Marcel Steinkemper. So Oliver Reinhardt is going to make a quick adjustment to his block at the top because apparently something is not quite 100% for him. All right. So there we see Ollie Reinhardt, 1:14.56 personal best. Marcel Steinkemper, 1:21.75. So many things happening in this discipline. And you really need to be exceptionally well-rounded here. Getting those pockets cut, you have to be accurate. You have to be strong but quick. Putting those boards in, you have to have that courage to get on those boards, stand up on top of those boards and have them spring, but also have the confidence to be able to step back far enough so that you can utilize the power of that back leg and the core strength of your body to power through that top block on that cut at the top. So a lot going on in this discipline. For me, really, this is the maker or breaker because this decides whether or not you get into that next round. Here we go.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Marcel Steinkemper, I believe that was about a 6-hit pocket to get that first board in place. A little bit saggy. And now he starts to work on that second pocket. Ollie Reinhardt starting on his second pocket as well. Looked like a 5-6 hit pocket there. I didn't get a complete count as he's going to have to readjust that lower board and get back up. Not readjust, but just get back up. He slipped off. And quick gingerly test of that board. And Marcel Steinkemper's got a big angle on his board, so he can put that back foot way back and start really working on that block and use his power to his advantage. Ollie Reinhardt has got a nice parallel board. Doesn't look like there's any sag there at all. And the two of them just narrowing in on a minute mark here. So will we have personal best for these two guys? Let's see, as they're both looking pretty good here on that first side. Marcel Steinkemper pretty deep, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him switch to the other side. Ollie Reinhardt already on his second side there. It looks good for him. 1:15.96, slightly past his personal best time. And Marcel Steinkemper also going to be past his personal best time, but we should see a time in the blocks as he's going to cut through from both sides, and he has done that. In fact, he just went through a couple of drivers on the backside and then opted to go to that front side, which was a more comfortable cutting angle for him. So Ollie Reinhardt with a very nice 1:15.96, just ahead of Denny Vielwert and his 1:16.97. Stefano Dwarka in third place and Marcel Steinkemper in fourth place at the moment.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right. So a couple more drivers each for these guys than your most efficient four-hit pockets there, but sometimes it's really about making sure that board is in place. You want to have it pocket be clean. You don't want to have any slough in there, because slough will tend to move out of the way and create a problem for your board. As you see, Ollie right there tried to put his board in place, but lost his balance, stepped down, and had to go around, get back up, and replace the board. Now Marcel's angle maybe was a little bit too much, and but he had the confidence to put that back leg well back on his board and really power into those drivers, which was great for him. Ollie Reinhardt, same for him as well. He had a nice angle on his board and managed to get through there in 1:15.70. Marcel Steinkemper 1:29.66, and we are with Ollie Reinhardt right now.
Besser gesagt, im Springboard. Oliver Reinhardt, Oliver, eine Ansage bei der Disziplin von dir.
Ja, mal sehen, wie lange es noch eine Ansage bleibt, aber es passt schon.
We'll see how long that stays in that position in first place.
1:15 wäre vielleicht sogar noch eine persönliche Bestleistung drin gewesen heute.
Ja, das muss effektiv nicht sein. Vielleicht hat mir das Schicksal gezeigt, dass ich etwas mehr ins Gym gehen soll.
Oder vielleicht einfach noch Reserve für die nächste Disziplin, wer weiß. Was liegt heute drin? Was hast du so im Gefühl, wie wir sagen in der Schweiz?
So wie es jetzt ausschaut, wäre ich recht zufrieden mit Top 6. Wenn es aufs Treppchen passt, umso besser.
So as it is right now, I'd be really satisfied with top 6, but we'll see how the rest of it goes. So the audience is definitely giving me a lot of energy, and our host says good luck the rest of the way through. All right, so last bits of work being done on stage. And again, it's the athlete's responsibility to secure those blocks onto the top of the tree stands and get everything ready on stage, with the exception of the tree stands themselves. Those are the responsibility of our amazing stage crew here from BJ Events. And
I think we've just had a great
we'll take a quick look
over the years
at the upcoming
got some really good individuals
documentary about New Zealand.
And together we've always got on really, really well.
You know, real legends of the sport, you know, absolute pioneers of STIHL Timbersports.
Accelerator, brake, come on.
Turn the cameras off, this is embarrassing.
The team always being super close.
They're like a family.
But yeah, they get along really well and yeah, have fun doing it.
Bobby, where are you?
Australia would be our biggest rival.
Two teams that know each other very well.
To win, you got to put the hard work in at home, and that's what motivates me the most, to want to win, yeah.
On competition day, it's all about focus, getting the job done.
Come on, Shane! Come on, mate!
Your corner and go! Come on, mate! Hard, Shane! Come on, mate!
Kyle Lemon is back in the team. He's our stock sawyer. Jack Jordan, who's our underhand cutter. Bobby Dowling is our single sawyer.
Freeze, mate, freeze!
Shane Jordan as our standing block cutter.
Sorry, mate. Chin up, chin up.
Competing with the Jordan brothers. We don't need to say much about them. Kyle Lemon, with a chainsaw in his hand, he's a real legend of the sport.
You're in now, no, you're in!
It's a real privilege to be up on that stage with those three men.
Good cut, good cut. Well done. Fuck, that was an awkward handshake.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool documentary called Behind the Chop. It's following Team New Zealand on their route to trying to get back into the top spot in the World Championships and the team competition. And they've been there before. They know what needs to be done to be there at the top, but they've got some big rivalries in Canada, the USA, and above all, Team Australia. So that's a lot of fun to see how that will develop over the next couple of months and years, heading towards our upcoming World Championships on the 24th and 25th of October. Will New Zealand be able to do it this year? We will see, and if you join us there, maybe you will too. All right, 2 more heats to go in our Springboard competition between Cyril Papst and Danny Martin, then Armin Kugler and Christoph Geisler. Stage is very close to being set, and we are introducing you now to our number 3 heat, Cyril Papst and Danny Martin. All right, time to beat right now. Ollie Reinhardt's 1:15.70, holding down the top spot, and Ollie said he would love to be among the top 6, so that time is holding him in good stead right now with 2 more heats to go, but 4 guys that are very, very strong in Springboard. Okay, here we go.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So 6-hit pocket for Cyril Papst, 7 hits for Danny Martin, and they get up there and start working on the second pocket. That is a giant pocket for Cyril Papst after 8 hits. And he gets that board in place. And Danny Martin already working on the top. Board looked like it was okay. I can't see any sag there. No, it's looking very good for both of them as they are on top and starting to work on those blocks. That whole stand for Cyril Papst seems to be moving, though. And hopefully that's not going to affect his performance at all, though. Danny Martin looking good as he's already onto the backside. Will he be under a minute here today? May well be if he can keep going. He's cut from the backside, and he's done it! A personal best for Danny Martin. Oh, wow! How much excitement can one man have in a day? 57.62 for Danny Martin, and he has finally made it under 1 minute. He's told me in the past that he's done it in under a minute in training, but he's never pulled it off in competition until today. What a run for Danny Martin. Cyril Papst with 1:15.87. So Cyril slips in just behind Oliver Reinhardt, and Danny Martin with a bullet, a time under a minute up top there, and Cyril Papst chilling on his top board after that run. And Danny Martin, look at that, smiling like a Buddha. What a great run and result for Danny Martin. No matter what happens today, that's going to be a big deal for the German.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So fantastic personal best from Danny Martin at 1:16.62 has Cyril Papst in third place here. And it is a solid showing for Germany here in the mix with 4 Germans having times here. Marcel Steinkemper, Stefano Dwarka, Denny Fielder at 4:56. And this was a great run for Danny Martin. See a little bit of junk in there, but didn't get in the way of Danny's first board, and both he and Cyril had their boards in more or less dead even with each other. Cyril took 1 extra hit here on that pocket. It was a massive pocket, but Danny Martin was already on top, and he seemed pretty comfortable on that board up there, foot pretty well near the latter half on his stance, and managed to get through there pretty nicely. Did a couple of cuts from the backside, then went to his stronger front side to get through there. And there's the reaction after he knew he had under a minute and a personal best. Great job by Danny Martin. Big congratulations to him for beating that minute mark finally. Okay, last 2 athletes here before we cut the competition down to 6 and go to our final hot saw. 1 more heat to go, and that is going to be Armin Kugler and Christoph Geisler. Both of these guys have personal best times under a minute, so all things being equal, they could be among the top 3 here if they can do it. If they can do it, that is the big question.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
4-hit pocket for Armin Kugler. 6 hits for Christoph Geisler. He's up. Armin Kugler starting to work on his second pocket now. Christoph Geisler as well. Wow, the wood's flying there for Christoph Geisler. That looks like a 6-hit pocket for Armin Kugler as he gets that second board set and moves up onto the top of that board in just under 30 seconds. Christoph Geisler setting his second board in place at about the 35-second mark. Quick check to make sure he's got stability and that tooth takes purchase. And Christoph Geisler is already working on the top. And Armin Kugler is well deep into his first side cut. And he is not slowing down at all. He switches positions and goes to the backside. We may see a good time from Armin Kugler here as he has done it in 55.66. So slightly faster than Danny Martin, moves to the top position. Christoph Geisler now past the 1 minute mark. May he be in that third position if he can get it in under 1:15. He's got to get to the other side of that chop, and he has switched his position now. It's not going to happen in 1:15. Will it happen in 1:16? Nope. 1:17? Nope. 1:20? Nope. And he is going to be down in 6th position there with 1:22.61. Armin Kugler, though, with a great run there, and the top spot in Springboard.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, taking a look back here. Good start. You can see the chips flying as these guys set their pockets. And here we see Christoph Geisler setting his first board. Armin Kugler setting the pocket for his second board. Armin just went balls to the wall, for lack of a better description, on that top board, and did a great job to get through there in 5 seconds, or just 4 seconds and change short of the 1 minute mark at 55:41. Danny Martin with a great time of 57:39, and the only guy to rock a personal best here. Olli Reinhardt is in there, along with Cyril Papst, Danny Vielwert, Christoph Geisler, Stefano Dwarka, and Marcel Steinkemper, rounding out the bottom 4 in that list. Let's see how that changes our overall standings, as that's changed around a little bit there, with the Christoph Geisler being down a little bit farther, and that means it's going to be Danny Martin atop the leaderboard, with Armin Kugler in second place, Olli Reinhardt in third, Cyril Papst in fourth, Danny Vielwert in fifth, and Christoph Geisler in sixth. So that's going to be those 6 guys making it to the hot saw round. Unfortunately for Marcel Steinkemper, Stefano Dwarka, Christoph Lang, Marcel Steinkemper and Stefano Dwarka, excuse me, they will be eliminated from competition here today. So we will see Danny Martin, Armin Kugler, Olli Reinhardt, Cyril Papst, and Danny Vielwert, and Christoph Geisler in reverse order in the hot saw round. So stage will be dismantled, and things will get ready for our hot saw rounds. Any surprises in there for me? Danny Vielwert. We know he's good. We didn't realize that he would be in a position to get in there in the hot saw because of a stock saw problem. Let's take a look at the hot saw right now.
These custom handmade race-tuned machines are built for maximum power and precision, and to cut the wood as fast as possible in a competition. They are built with a 60 to 80 horsepower single-cylinder 2-stroke engine, often taken from a snowmobile or high-powered motorbike. The hot saw can weigh up to 30 kilograms, and its chain rotates at over 250 kilometers an hour. The cost of a competition hot saw used in STIHL Timbersports is upward of 6,000 euros. Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
All right, so those are some crazy strong machines. The chain running at over 250 kilometers an hour, 25 to 30 kilos in weight. The motor running underneath your hands as you pick it up and try and cut 3 cookies from a 15 centimeter mark on that block. It is a lot going on. They also, I referred to, for me, the Springboard as the maker or breaker, but they refer to this as the maker or the breaker, and here's why.
Yeah, probably the most important event, but yeah, also the most frustrating.
These saws are so incredibly powerful and dangerous.
Usually the hot saw is the slider.
Hot saw. Hot saw.
Like I can't describe to you when we're out there under pressure.
Starts well, first disc looks solid, cut is good.
You know, you're always ending the competition on a hot saw, so you know where you're going to be at when you finish. So you're either at a real big high or just is what it is.
Nice clean cut, easy, relaxed.
Hot saw is a love-hate for me. I honestly don't get that much enjoyment out of it. I'm not a motorhead. I swallow my pills and eat it.
Once the competition comes, anything can happen. Oh no, a false start by Sterling Hart. What a disaster.
Yeah, it was a disappointment for me. Happens though, it's part of competing.
I saw there was 3 good discs there, but then let that nose come right up underneath the crossover line.
Unfortunately, a disqualification.
It all relies on the hot saw.
It went good up until the hot saw. I disqualified, I cut across the line. Yeah, there was a bit of interference, I feel like, in a big pressure situation, you know.
What are you taking away from this event?
Probably last place. I don't know, headache. Yeah, shit also. What else do you want?
If you have bad luck or if you did wrong, it's part, just your experience.
Oh my goodness, what an absolute disaster. The chain came off.
I was not disappointed because everybody see that I can be with the guys in front.
It was a bit of a disaster, so it was just operator error, and I didn't perform as well as I would have liked to.
Nice safe cut.
Oh no! Oh no!
Never prepared for that situation, but luckily it started and I've got 3 wheels and now I'm the world champion.
Yeah, it's the make or break event, you know.
I think you love and you hate it.
Das ist eigentlich immer ein geiles Ding. Ich schneide immer sehr sicher.
What was going through your head when that gun fired? 4.62 seconds.
That's pretty hard to believe right there.
Just try to make 3 good cuts and no disqualification.
The hot saw is where it's all one, so that's the best event.
To look at the world from a new angle, you need to do things you've never done, and to get where you've never been. With new Jeep Avenger 4xe, the North Face Edition.
All right, hot saw coming up shortly here as we might be able to hear some of the saws see some of the saws being warmed up in the backstage area. And you can hear the difference between the 2 types of motors that these guys are using. The Rotax is the higher pitched sounding motor, and the Wankel is that deep, throaty growl. I love that sound. And if you're a motorhead, a gas head, or a gear head, this is absolutely your discipline. If you like stuff like freestyle motocross or auto racing, this is absolutely your discipline. These are monster machines. Literally, they will chew up a block like a hot knife through butter. And if you can control that machine and have a good, clean cut, then you could very well take the top spot on the podium because 18 points are up for grabs here in this hot saw discipline. Danny Martin, as you heard from the interviews, he cuts very, very solid, clean cuts almost every time. He did have, for a short while, the world record in hot saw. If he's feeling good, he may challenge for it. And right now, he's got 56 points on the board over 5 events. With the 6th event coming up, he could well take the top spot on the podium today, and that would mean good things for his desires to be at the World Championship later in the year in October. Armin Kugler just behind him with 52 points. Ollie Reinhardt, it's going to be the 2nd time he's made it into a situation where he can use that hot saw. He's got 44 points, but he needs to have a really, really good run in order to be among the top there. Cyril Paps, Denny Vielwert, and Christoph Geisler are 42, 41, and 40 points respectively. And it will take disasters for the top 3 and very, very clean runs for those remaining 3 guys in order to make it onto a podium spot for one or the other. So it seems like all the saws have been warmed up. The athletes should be ready to go. And we could just see Guido in there giving us the Daumendrücken. Basically, that means crossing your fingers for these guys, as there's our lineup for the hot saw. It's going to be Christoph Geisler and Danny Vielwert on the stage first as the bottom 2 athletes from the previous round springboard. Then we're going to see Cyril Paps and Ollie Reinhardt, and then the last heat. Armin Kugler and Danny Martin, the two fastest from the springboard. All right, Christoph Geisler and Denny Vielwert. Denny, personal best time for him, 9:02. Christoph Geisler holding the national record for hot saw with a 5:68.
Nochmal letzte Reminder, bitte Ohrenschützer anlegen und dann auch Kind, ganz, ganz wichtig, ist wirklich wahnsinnig gut.
Christoph Geisler knows that those lines need to be complete all the way around, so that he's asking Bart Janssen to just double draw those lines to make sure they are complete and solid and in the wood enough, so that if there is a question, if it's close, which very often happens here, they'll make sure that those lines are nice and clean on there. And Christoph, he's an experienced enough athlete in timber sports that he knows he can do those one or two little things to make just
okay, gentlemen. Warm up your sword.
All right, quick chain check by Denny Vielwert as both saws started without problem. That doesn't mean that's going to be the case when the competition comes. They'll have to draw that line, cut 3 cookies that are good within those marks on that block, and do it in the fastest time possible here. We have a Wankel and we have a Rotax on deck with Christoph Geisler and Danny Vielwert. And from this point on, I won't say much because you won't hear me at all until after this heat is done. So let's get it going with heat number 1 in the hot saw. Christoph Geisler, Danny Vielwert, and this, folks, is for all the marbles.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go, 7:15 for Denny Vielwert, a personal best time. He's going to be super happy with that as long as all the cookies are good, but he's given a thumbs down like he's cut the line, and hopefully that's not the case. And 7:45 for Christoph Geisler, and it looks like so far so good for him. No flag on the play, so Bart Janssen will head over to Denny's block and double check everything, and it is under investigation as, oh yes, he came really close to the line, and it looks like he does indeed have a cut line. That's a bummer for Denny.
So, we have a disqualification for a cut line. However, this cut is good.
All right, so we have the first score in the blocks and the time to beat, 7.28 seconds. Unfortunately for Denny Vielwert, his time was fantastic, 7:15, but he had a cut line, and that means a disqualification. Let's see where this might have happened. He hovered a little bit for that first cookie. Let's see from this angle. Yeah, it's a good cookie, actually. It's nice and thin. Transition, the second cookie was a little bit thicker, and then, yeah, he hovered a little bit, but just slipped over too far, and you could see when he put the saw down, he knew right away, because he could see that cut line at the top. There's so much going on. You pull that trigger, and you could see that engine kicking, the whole saw kicking when you got 30 kilograms in your hand, and you're trying to control it through those 3 cuts. That is just a ton of stuff going on. And, yeah, unfortunately for Denny Vielwert, that is going to be a DQ, so no points for him in this one. And we bring our next 2 athletes out on stage for heat number 2, and that's Cyril Papst and Olli Reinhardt. Both these guys having pretty close to the same personal best, 6:31 for Cyril and 6:95 for Ollie.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your shores.
All right, quick warm-up for both of these guys. They just want to concentrate on the little nuances now. They know their saws are starting. They warmed them up backstage. A quick warm-up here. They want to have the saw position exactly right so that when they reach down from that block, their grab handles and trigger are exactly in the position they expect them to be, so that all they have to do is concentrate on the cut, getting 3 cookies on the deck and making sure that the cut is clean and fast. That's looking like a brand new saw for Ollie Reinhardt.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to
Here we go.
timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh no, Ollie Reinhardt's saw didn't start, so he couldn't get in there, or if it did start, he tagged the block a little bit too hard and the chain stopped. Now he's got it. Oh, and the cut was so good too. The cut was so good, but 22 seconds is not a time that Ollie Reinhardt wants to have there. We should have 3 good cookies on the deck for Ollie. Unfortunately for him, that is going to be a time that puts him right now in 3rd, probably 5th place at the end, failing any major mistakes from anybody else.
Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
That is what happens sometimes. Yeah, the saw started, or it doesn't start. I'll have to see in the replay if, in fact, he tagged the block with the chain running. Oh, yeah, it was running. He tagged the block, and it stopped. Oh, no. So it was actually operating, but then it stopped on him, and he had to go back and rewrap and cut again. Meanwhile, Cyril Papst with a really good solid cut and a 6.48. A little bit slower than his previous time. And here the recut from Ollie Reinhardt as he gets in there. No hesitation at all, barely any swing on the transition, and another beautiful cut. Can imagine that would have been like a 5-6 second cut for Ollie Reinhardt, and barring a restart, it would have been a very, very nice run for him. Okay, we are down to our last heat here, and this is going to be the decider between these two guys, Armin Kugler and Danny Martin. Armin Kugler has 52 points. Danny Martin has 56 points. So a good time for Armin Kugler and a 3rd place or lower for Danny Martin would mean Armin Kugler would be the champion here today. But he's always cut very, very secure with the hot saw. Let's see if that stays true to Danny Martin here today.
Okay, gentlemen. Warm up your saws.
I had Danny Martin saw in my hand a couple of years ago. That thing is heavy. It is heavy. Never fails to amaze me how well these guys can control those massive, powerful pieces of equipment when they cut these cookies.
Seconds.
All right, 30 seconds to go. Last preparations by both of these guys. And once again, I'll step back and let the noise speak for itself until those 3 cookies are on the deck.
Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Again, Danny Martin with a super clean cut, 6:15. That should do it for him. He's got to have 3 clean cookies on the deck and no cut line, and that's what they're doing to check right now. Andy Hall making sure the saw is out of the way so he can check the line and check the cookies to make sure they're complete. And Danny Martin seems confident with his cut. He's got the thumbs up and a smile from Andy Hall, and that means Danny Martin will be your champion here today at the first ever DACH Men's Pro Championship.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
You could see how secure Danny Martin is with that saw in hand. Barely broke a sweat on that one. He looked clean and easy, looked up. He knew he had a good run, and he knew he had that one locked down after a 6:10 time. Armin Kugler a little bit slower at 8:10. Nice clean cuts though by Armin Kugler, looking very good. And again, Danny Martin celebrating in the background. And that means Danny Martin wins the hot saw. Cyril Pabst, second place in hot saw. Christoph Geisler, third in hot saw. Armin Kugler, fourth in hot saw. Olli Reinhardt, fifth, and Denny Fieldred, sixth. But if we look at the overall standings, Danny Martin on top with Armin Kugler right behind him. And then it's Cyril Pabst in that bronze medal position. So Danny Martin wins it with 74 points, Armin Kugler 61, Cyril Pabst 57, then Christoph Geisler 52, and Olli Reinhardt top 5 with a 50, so it bodes well for him. He's looking better and better every time he gets out there. Unfortunately for him, his hot saw did not start, or did start and bagged out on him during the run, and he had to go back, restart it, and recut the cookies. But if you looked at the cookies when he cut, it was perfect.
Aus ihm herausgebrochen, mehrmals die Emotionen, schon beim Springboard und auch am Schluss bei der Hot Saw. Jetzt bei mir hier der Gewinner des Dachfinales der Pro-Herrenwertung vom hier Timbersports STIHL in Wildhaus, Danny Martin.
Ja, danke. Dankeschön.
Danny, wie fühlt sich an?
Ja, fühlt sich extrem gut an.
Feels extremely good.
So
he defended his German title. And he's happy to have the Dachmeister title as well, so the DACH Championship.
Man hat schon gesehen, beim Springboard oben bist du drauf gestanden, hast da rausgeschrien ins Publikum. Hast du das erst mal gemerkt, dass heute der Dachtitel drin liegt?
Ja, ich muss sagen, ich habe natürlich auch schwer gestartet am Underhand. Das kann ich viel, viel besser.
Yeah, he said he started hard in the underhand, could be better.
Das hat mir schön eine ins Gesicht gegeben. Sorry, dass ich so sagen muss.
Slap, a bit of a slap in the face for him there, as he really needed to be better.
Bin bei mir geblieben und ja, habe alles zeigen können.
He stuck with it and showed everything that he had, and
glücklich ja immer noch was stellen zu können für die WM zum Beispiel. Also ich bin sehr, sehr happy.
So he's super happy, could be happier, but super happy, and he's really really happy about the crowd here. His wife is also in the audience as well.
Dem kann man, glaube ich, hier an dieser Stelle nichts mehr hinzufügen. Ein würdiger Meister, ein würdiger Sieger des ersten Dachtitels hier der Pro-Wertung. Herzliche Gratulation, Danny Martin!
So congratulations to Danny Martin, the first ever DACH champion. He defends his German title as well here in that, and that means as the best German, he will score, or should score, enough points to make it into the European ranking and to participate in the World Championships coming up in October. We'll take a look at that shortly in a little bit once those rankings are updated. And in the meantime, it was an absolutely fantastic hot saw final here, seeing these guys on stage and really just putting everything into it with a great run by Danny Martin in the end and ending up with the win here. Cyril Pabst right behind him in the hot saw, and Christoph Geisler showing off a great hot saw as well. And then at the end, it's going to be Danny Martin, Armin Kugler, and Cyril Pabst on the podium here today as we get our stage ready for our awards ceremony. And the guy's surprised again by no change of scenery. So our two German commentators will continue to send us over now to the main stage, where we will take care of our awards ceremony with Julian Torner. And again, as is tradition here with this event, we will start from the bottom of the list and come back up to the top three, and also bring up Ralf Turke, our managing director of STIHL Switzerland, to award the prizes on stage here today. So, moving in to our group of athletes and bringing them up on stage in 16th place, we have Josef Leier.
Auf dem Platz Nummer 16 aus Österreich, Josef Leier.
'15th place is going to be Gunther Dahlinger.
Ebenfalls aus Österreich, Platz Nummer 15, Günther Dahlinger.
So our first German coming up onto stage now, 14th place, Florian Hegele. Then we have Austrian Lukas Wagesreiter. Starting into the Swiss men now, Stefan Hübscher.
Stefan Hübscher.
Another Swiss man coming up onto the stage in 11th place, Rolf Hasler.
Ebenfalls aus der Schweiz, Rolf Hasler.
Then we have also Swiss Marcel Amann. And then next up from Germany, Christoph Lang.
Aus Deutschland, Christoph Lang.
Then also joining a countrymate, Stefan Odwarka. And next up we have Marcel Steinkemper.
Marcel Steinkemper. Platz Nummer 6 geht ebenfalls
Next up,
nach Deutschland.
Denny Vielwert. Denny's fan club still giving him all the props. All right, now moving into our top five. Number 5 from Switzerland, Oliver Reinhardt. Also from Switzerland, number 4, Christoph Geisler. Our granddaddy caddy of STIHL Timbersports here. Fantastic athlete. and still keeping it real. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving into our top 3 on our podium today. In the bronze medal position, number 3 today from Switzerland with 57 points, CEST Pabst. So receiving the bronze medal from Ralf Türke, Managing Director, STIHL Switzerland, CEST Pabst in 3rd place. Now, moving on to 2nd place, our silver medalist here from Austria, Armin Kugler.
Wir kommen zum Platz Nummer 2 aus Österreich und damit österreichischer Meister, Armin Kugler!
With the 2nd place for Armin Kugler and 61 points, he is also the Austrian champion, and so that will or should qualify him for the European rankings as he moves up onto that silver medal podium spots.
Medaille und der nationale Titel, die Trophäe für den österreichischen Titel. Und 2. Platz Dach.
Okay, and now moving into that top position, number 1 on the podium today, your new DACH champion, the first ever DACH champion in 2025. Your number 1 top spot and the gold medalist,
Wir kommen zum Platz
Danny Martin from Germany.
Und damit der erste Dachtitel in Timbersports 2025 aus Deutschland und damit auch deutscher Meister erneut Danny Martin! Erster Dachtitel für Danny Martin. Nicht der erste nationale Titel für den deutschen Titelträger. Und auch hier wieder die Preise, die Medaille für den Dachtitel und die Trophäe für den Dachtitel, wie auch die Trophäe für den nationalen Titel. Und jetzt, zu Ehren des Siegers, meine Damen und Herren, die deutsche Nationalhymne. Der Sieger, Dachtitel und hier kommt die Champagnerdusche.
Champagne shower time. One final picture with the trophies before they get completely soaked and bubbly. Danny's getting used to this. Hee-hee! Yes. And yes, champagne does burn the eyes. One of the best reactions to the champagne shower is that fun out there. So big congratulations to Danny Martin, Cyril Papst, and Armin Kugler, our top 3 on the podium today. And that changes things a little bit in the European rankings, as we're going to take a quick look at that shortly here, because we take the top 8 of the European rankings to the World Championships, minus the host country's participant, and that would be Michi Perrin. And that means we should see Armin Kugler and Glenn Pendlington in the mix as well. So, yeah, interesting. Cyril Papst, Vibjorn Sonsteby, and Gavin Thompson, unfortunately, not going to be representing their respective countries at the World Championships. But we're going to have a good time there nevertheless. And you can see Danny Martin up there in number 5, and Armin Kugler there in number 8. Actually number 7 in this case, because of the host country, Michi Perrin. Okay, and that said, let's take a quick look at what the World Championship is expecting in Italy this year in Milan, because it should be a lot of fun before we sign off today. A quick look ahead to the World Championship 2025. So that should be a lot of fun at the Allianz Cloud in Milan, Italy on the 24th and 25th of October. 24th is the Team World Championship. 25th is the Individual World Championship. We hope that you guys will join us there live. If not, definitely do join us online during the live stream. It will be a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed our DACH Men's Championship here today and the action that came your way. It was a very good competition. And we hope to see you again soon. Signing off from my side on the English stream, I'm Troy Mannering, taking you out with a little bye-bye. See you, everybody.